Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative, coming at you, if you believe it or not, for the third time trying to record this video. So if it doesn't work, I'm just going to do episode 2. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're returning, thank you for rocking with us. If you're in America, please register to vote and make a plan to do so. And the first couple episodes of Married at First Sight season is always boring, so it's not going to be long. But let's get into everything that is of note. So, first couple is Michelle and David, and they're a match made in preference, hell, or heaven, depending on how you look at that stuff. Michelle requested a light-skinned black man and says she's a catch and independent. And her match, David, says he has a sweet spot for white women with blonde hair and blue eyes, and also claims to be independent. So on paper, this looks like it might work, but honestly, the experts and these people might have been wasting time, because if they're that specific about their preference, it might go into fetish territory, and it might be that they have a very set, thing that they like in their head, and they should not be trusting other people to blindly pick for them. So I feel like this couple might be in the wife swap prediction territory. Apparently, some couple gonna have a swap or exchange of partners, and because these two are so specific and not coming in trusting, the process as much, I'm worried for them already, but we shall see. They do seem like nice people, so hopefully they get along, but I won't be surprised if they start swapping out for their true preference. All right, next, Akechi and MM. I had predicted that this would be like a Nigerian couple to watch, and MM did say she was Nigerian, so I was glad of it. I really loved MM. She says she put her career before relationships for a long time, but now that she's settled professionally, she wants to start a family. She also had lost her dad, and the way she couldn't talk about it really made me feel for her, made me think of this quote that my husband sent me. I'm not sure who said it, but the quote reads, "Grief is love persevering. People we've lost leave spaces in our lives, and we grow around those spaces. We are forever shaped by their absence, but also by the ways they filled our lives when they were here." And with MM, you could really see that, like, just the amount of heartbrokenness she had over her dad made me sense just how much he had filled her heart before, and how beautiful of a relationship they probably did have. So shout out to MM and anybody else who lost, a loved one like that. She seems to have a fur baby as well, but that might not be the only dog in her life, because Akechi, I'm worried about his motives. He seems like an interesting enough guy. I'm sure she will, like him. He's very likable, and he's got a lot of cool hobbies and whatnot, but I just couldn't really sit comfortably after hearing how he tried out for the show when it was, in Texas all those years ago, and that, he's now followed the show to Chicago and still is not married, and claims to have been writing love letters to his wife all along. And I'm just like, if you were that ready to get married in Texas all those years ago, and all those, letters you've been writing show how bad you wanted it, why not just make it happen? It seemed like he was saving his marriage virginity for TV, and so it's giving clout a little bit, and I don't want that for MM. I hope, he is genuine about this, but it is giving that he wanted to be on TV no matter what and save his marriage for TV. And I don't know if MM could live up to this imaginary wife, because maybe the women in real life weren't, living up to the love letters he'd been writing to whoever's in his head to be his future wife. So it all worries me. Next, we have Madison and Alan. They worry as well, because Madison also has a type. She says she liked tall, athletic, baby-faced, pretty boy muscle men, and now she claims she just wants a kind person who makes her laugh. So I have her on one of the swapping list as well, since She clearly, has a preference and a type. And she seems like a walking contradiction too, because she claims she works out a lot and then we see her getting junk food. I mean, we're all walking contradictions at some time, but I don't know about, someone who has that specific type trusting somebody blindly to set them up like that. And Alan, he's not bad looking, but he don't have a baby face to me. He claims to be loyal but a nut job, and he seems to only be himself when he's drunk. He says he's frugal most days, but willing to splurge every now and then. And I feel that because, I'm kind of the same way. But he's also said he's seen a lot of struggle in his family and there's a lot of dysfunction there. So he wants to, make the family he never had, which also worries me a little because who knows if he has the tools to go through the really rough spots of a relationship because it wasn't modeled to him what was healthy. So I'm worried for this couple and I hope they, get it together. But if there's a swap, they might be one of the ones that swap. And also we started to see their wedding this week, but they kind of put it off as a cliffhanger for next week to see the end of it. So I'm not going to talk about their wedding at all. I'll just save it all for next week and go to Carla and Juan. Carla is Mexican American. She has strict parents, so she was always in long-term relationships. And she was the most open at the bachelorette party about what she wants sexually. So it was giving the girl who was on lockdown, who was now letting her freak flag fly. So she got a lot of pent-up energy and stuff to explore. And Juan said he got a lot of energy too, so they might be a very good match. He seems close to his family and friends. And he was born in Colombia, but now he's living the American dream in his deluxe apartment in the sky. So now that he's moving on up and finally got a piece of the pie, he wants to share that pie with someone else. And I'm here for it. I think they're a good match from what we see and hear so far. Last but not least, we got Camille and Thomas, whose wedding we did see through the vows. And they both said yes, even though Camille tried to run away. She seemed a little reserved at first. And I think she got into her head about, if the person would like her or not. But then I think when she saw Thomas's sad face and that he was worried too, she definitely put on her empathy hat and complimented him and turned his frown upside down. So I love that for her and them. Thomas, he said he's a twin and supposedly the nice twin, but he also said he was insecure about not meeting his wife's expectations. So I'm glad, that Camille complimented him, that he complimented her in return. You could kind of feel the weight lifting off his shoulders and the good vibes that they exchanged once they realized that they were gonna accept each other, at least for now. He does seem like he gonna be controlling in terms of the closet space. I feel like they're gonna be fighting over the hangers and how organized it is, because his stuff seemed real organized. But again, he say he the nice twin, but who knows? That's relative. Hopefully they hit it off. I'm glad that they were there for each other and vibing a little bit on the altar with the insecurity, but then making a safe space. So I got hope for them. Say how you felt about the couples in the episode in the comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.